Since we last met, we found out what we all knew was coming, and that's that the Broncos are going to part ways with brother from another's favorite quarterback, Russell Wilson. It was never a matter of if.
You say he's our favorite quarterback, but
Yes.
he's not the quarterback of brother from another, but he's our favorite quarterback. But he's not our quarterback. Maybe topic-wise. Maybe for fodder, Russ fodder.
Yeah, sure.
Because you ain't feeling it. I can tell you ain't feeling it, brother.
No, see, don't do that. Don't do that. See, don't do that. That's the problem. Right there.
Why? What's wrong?
Wait, look. What they call it? What they call it? Insinuating? Why you insinuate? Like, you ain't feeling the brother? Like, hold on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's how shit get twisted, man. No.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay?
Go ahead. I'm not.
All right.
I stand corrected. You go.
All right. Anyway, it was never a matter of, let me get to my intro. Never a matter of if, but when and how. And they're going to release him at the start of the league year. But in the meantime, they have given Russell Wilson permission to speak to other teams. Given how much you are feeling the brother, I get the sense that if you were another GM, you'd be falling over yourself trying to meet with Russell Wilson right now. That's the sense I get from you, Michael Holley, is that you be like, yeah.
Yes, I would. And you know what? I'd play it coy. I'm just going to tell you, Denver Broncos, I'm not calling you. What is it, 303 out there in Denver? I'm not calling it 303. I'm not contacting you at all. I'm back channeling this thing because you've got yourself into a bit of a mess cap-wise with Russell Wilson. You decided you wanted to release him.
Well, they don't have to call now. But they don't even have to call.
Huh?
He's got permission. He's got permission to
Yeah, I know.
float.
But what I'm thinking,
you don't have to call the
this
Broncos.
is okay. But here's the problem. Say permission to speak with other teams. Why do I need your permission? I'm thinking, if you need permission, what are you looking for from us? Why do you want to talk to us? You know why you want to talk to us? You're looking for some kind of deal. You're looking for some kind of cap.
Somebody to bail you out.
Well,
Like
yeah.
like a
Why do
trade
I
of some
need to
kind?
talk to? If Russell Wilson,
Maybe
is
they're doing
free
him a
agent,
solid. Maybe they're actually doing him a solid. He's not technically a free agent yet. Maybe they're doing him a solid. Maybe this is
That's
a
what
gesture
I'm
of
saying.
goodwill. After they tried to screw him over with the removal of the injury guarantee, maybe they're saying, hey, in a couple of days, you're going to be a free agent anyway.
Hey,
Why don't you just
Bill,
go ahead and get
you
a
know
head
this.
start?
You said the other day you wanted to, growing up, going to McDonough 35, shout out New Orleans, in high school, you wanted to be an NFL insider. That was a dream. And that dream became reality. So you've been studying the NFL for a long time from afar and on the inside. You know this is a business. Nobody's trying to do you a favor. Nobody's trying to do you a solid. This is dirty business. And so,
Okay, but they
what
can't
the Broncos,
realistically think that somebody's going, at this point, now that everybody knows they're going to release him, now that everybody
Right.
knows that they're going to have to eat $85 million, it's pointless to think, here you go, Michael, wait for it. If you think that another team is going to trade anything for Russell Wilson's
got another
contract,
think.
you got another think coming.
Still so wrong. It's wrong. Anyway, they're trying to drum up a market. Maybe they're trying to drum up a market. Hey, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name. Okay. They try to get a couple teams interested in Russell Wilson. And then if somebody's really interested, let's say he wants to go to the Patriots, who have ample cap space, what the Broncos don't have. And the Broncos look at it and say, hey, you know what? Why don't you take, instead of us eating all of us, why don't you just give us $6 million in relief? $6-7 million. We'll throw a draft pick your way. Just help us out because we can't function this way in the next 2 years.
Kind of like the Brock, what was it? The Brock Osweiler, was it?
Yep.
Well, like you're trading the
Brock
contract.
Osweiler. Houston,
all right,
Cleveland.
So
Gave him
all
a
right,
pick.
I think I'm following you. So you're saying that in exchange for Russ getting a head start on free agency, permission to speak to other teams, you're saying that the Broncos are hoping that Russ falls in love quickly with, say, a Patriots, and then the Patriots and Broncos work something out that allows the Patriots to avoid a potential bidding war with Russ on the open market as a free agent, and this way they basically funnel him to Foxborough. Am I following you?
And right, exactly. And the Broncos, to make this happen, the Broncos have to throw in a sweetener. Not that they have tons of assets, because
right.
Michael,
Usually you're trading
as I see your feed,
now we're giving you a draft pick to take on the contract. Yeah.
Right. And I see your feed item. The reason they don't have assets is because they gave up lots of assets to get Russell Wilson in the first place. So they are struggling. Their cupboards are bare because they just went all in on Russ. I think if they were to do something like that, that would be mitigating it a bit. It's still a bad trade, horrible. They didn't get anything close to what they paid for, but that is a way to get out without just taking the brunt of all that money.
Okay, so maybe that's what the Broncos are thinking, and that's very astute on your part. It's also wishful thinking, because to me, the most appealing thing about Russell Wilson right now, if I'm another team,
is the cost.
Is that the Broncos will be paying him to play for you. That you can get him for a little over $1 million. And however you receive or perceive what I have had to say about Russell Wilson, I'll take him for $1 million. Sure, why not? That's like low risk, high reward. This is the worst trade ever, and it's only going to get worse. Not just because of what the Broncos gave up to get him, not just because of what they didn't get from him over the last 2 seasons, but because they compounded it by giving him a contract that was completely unnecessary at the time. Like, he leveraged his Russell Wilson-ness into an extension that he wasn't due for and hadn't earned in a Broncos uniform. They just gave it to him because they were excited. Okay, so they gave him this extension. Now they have the largest dead cap hit in history coming their way over the next 2 years. And like I mentioned, they're going to have to pay him to play for someone else, which will also probably bite them in the ass in some way, shape, or form. The butterfly effect of this trade is fascinating. Okay, so not only is it the worst trade ever, sorry Trey Lance, that title temporarily, sorry Mike Dicker, Ricky Williams. I go back to Mike Dicker trading the whole draft for Ricky Williams. That's how I go back. Who could forget the Herschel Walker trade? And hell, high key, the Deshaun Watson trade doesn't look great for Cleveland right now.
That's right.
But Russell Wilson right now has the crown, or the Broncos have the crown for worst trade ever, and it's only going to get worse once he does sign as a free agent with somebody else, and you're paying him to play elsewhere. And here's another one, and I'm not going to say this is impossible. I wouldn't put my personal money on it, but if I were a team, I'd certainly put $1 million. I'd make this $1 million+ bet. I'd make $1 million+ bet that Russell Wilson will play better for his next team than he did in Denver, which will make that trade look that much worse. So you're paying him to play better than he played for you for somebody else. It's a bad trade that just keeps getting worse with the transaction.
And I guess, if you just look at those numbers there, keep those numbers there on the screen, Russell Wilson, and the record, 30 games. And I know you're not a big fan of quarterback win-loss records. I am. So 11-19. But the stats don't really tell the story. It's one of those you had to be there to understand.
Correct.
42 touchdowns, 19 picks. You go, okay.
Right.
That's a pretty good season. 90.9 rating. Okay, not great.
Numbers can lie.
But yeah, the stats
and those
lie.
Are the numbers and those are the numbers that Russell wants you to look at. Those are the numbers he wants you to focus on. Is that?
But I will say,
42-19.
I will say in his defense, in the Broncos' defense here, previous regime, their defense.
It wasn't set up for
Russell
him.
Russell Wilson has that contract because that was the whole point. Like most of these disputes, like we have a great time, talking, daily about, hey, this guy's unhappy. This guy, he feels like it's not the right fit, or he just wants the chance to win. But ultimately, most of these disputes boil down to money. So Russell Wilson, it wasn't that
Right.
Russell couldn't cook in Seattle. It was Russell couldn't bank in Seattle the way he wanted to. So he wanted a new contract from the Seahawks.
And his leverage,
yeah.
Right. His leverage in the trade with the Broncos was, I'm coming here, but I need a new contract.
But you gonna give me a new deal. And that's why they had to give him a new deal if they wanted Russell Wilson. And at the time,
I guess.
And dude, like, it's funny how things change so much. It was just when they made that trade, it made sense to us. It didn't seem like
everybody had Denver as the favorite in the AFC West. They were a quarterback away. You got Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton. Oh my God, we all got excited. We
were talking about. Remember the way we talked about the AFC West? Oh, look at the quarterbacks. They got Mahomes. You got some competition now.
It was loaded. Oh my God, it was loaded.
Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert.
Will the Chiefs win the AFC West?
And Derek Carr, he's a little underrated.
That was 2 championships ago. I feel like that was 2 championships ago. Right?
It was.
Literally 2 years and 2 championships ago, yes.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.